DJI always seems to be a step ahead of the game when it comes to compact consumer camera drones. Just when it looked like the solo drone from 3D Robotics was really bringing some serious competition to the Phantom 3, DJI stepped it up again with a new Phantom 4. So here's a quick roundup of a few improvements that put the Phantom 4 back in a class of its own, as well as some good news for Phantom 3 owners. First up, obstacle avoidance. The P4 has a pair of stereo cameras here on the front that it uses to track objects in front of itself and give you a heads up here on the screen when you're getting within 9 meters of something. It won't actually let you get closer than 1.5 meters to something unless you turn the system off. Unfortunately, most of my crashing into things happens when I'm flying backwards or sideways to get a cool shot. When you're going forwards, you can see on your screen right there if you're going to hit something. So this might actually end up being more annoying than useful in manual flight. Next, the vision positioning system has been upgraded with an extra downward-facing camera and bigger ultrasound units. That means it's a lot more stable than the Phantom 3 in a low hover under about 10 meters, even in a decent wind, and it's easier again to fly indoors, as long as you turn off the obstacle avoidance. Battery size is up about 20%, so flight time is now a maximum of 28 minutes instead of 25 for the Phantom 3. That's only a 10% rise because the 4 is 100 grams heavier than the 3 at 1380 grams. Some of that extra weight's in redundant systems like dual GPS and accelerometer sensors that make this drone even more reliable than the old ones, but frankly we've never had any problems with our Phantom 3. The Phantom 4 is much quicker to get in the air than the old version. There's a nice foam carry case right there in the box that'll fit straight into a backpack. That annoying warm-up routine when you switch the drone on, that's a bit quicker. And the props are now push, twist and lock jobs instead of the old ones you needed to wind onto a thread. Those new prop locks and a new sport mode option on the mode switch also let this thing reach a new top speed just over 70 km an hour, where the old one couldn't quite get to 60. High rate turning makes it much crazier and more responsive to fly. You can also rise and descend faster in sport mode than you've ever been able to on the 3. It's a ton zippier and a lot of fun. Speaking of modes, there's 2 other new ones worth mentioning. Tap to Fly lets you tap on the screen where you want the Phantom to go and set the speed you want. It gives you a very smooth shot, even if you're a crap pilot. The other is Active Track. Once you're 3 meters or higher in the air, you can tap and drag out a tracking target, and the Phantom 4 will optically track whatever you've selected and fly around to keep it in view. It's the best tracking system we've seen, hands down, although I'm still not sure if I'd put the controller down and jump on a dirt bike and expect it to follow me around without crashing into anything. While it's in either of those modes or return to home mode, it'll fly over or around obstacles as it sees fit, and that's where the collision warning system probably makes the most sense. Here's something that hasn't changed much: the camera. You still get the same highly detailed 4K image. The lens is slightly redesigned to remove a bit more barrel distortion and some chromatic aberration, but frankly neither of those were really deal breakers on the Phantom 3. You also still get legs and props in your shots when you're moving fast, so you have to plan your shots around that fact or crop the vision in your video editor to get rid of it. And the Lightbridge video downlink is the same, but let's face it, it was pretty awesome to begin with, and I don't think there's much real practical advantage in raising the resolution any higher than 720p or extending the video range past 5 kilometers. The system as it is gets the job done brilliantly. So, is there still room for improvement? Oh yeah! Surely there's a Phantom coming soon with obstacle avoidance gear on all 4 sides. This thing can move in any direction. Why not give us a hand where we can't see instead of just where we can? There's a lot of room in the battery pack for much more energy, so we may well see some endurance battery options somewhere down the track. The controller's phone mount is a bit sturdier than the one on our P3, but it still can't hold a 10-inch tablet, and you still need to buy a separate sunshade if you want to use it outdoors. You'll still need to get yourself some Screw-on ND filters if you want to make sure you don't get banding from the shadows of the props in your vision in bright sunlight. And you still can't use it in a multi-controller mode that lets you have one person pilot the thing and another control the camera. Using course lock mode, this actually should be easy enough to implement. And with that great little camera, the Phantom 4 delivers such high quality footage that pro-level tweaks like that feel appropriate. So, bottom line, if you're buying now, the Phantom 4 is unquestionably the best all-in-one compact camera drone on the market. But if you own a 3DR Solo or the Phantom 3 Pro, is it worth trading it in for an upgrade? Yeah, I think so. It's smoother, faster, and more convenient in the hands of a decent pilot, and it's smarter and safer in the hands of a drongo. Mind you, without huge upgrades to the camera, you can still get great results out of your current machine if you're a good enough pilot. Either way, this is a great time to be shopping.